Hello viewers, hope you all are doing absolutely fine. And from this video I'm going to start with chapter number 3, that is tissues of plants and animals. And in this particular chapter we will learn about what are tissues and the major type of plant tissues, that are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues, and about animal tissues and its classifications like epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues and neural tissues. So let's start by knowing what are tissues. So before starting with the topic, I would like to say that if you are new to my channel, please hit the like button, share and subscribe, and also follow me on my Instagram. Link is in the description box. Now let's start with tissues. So tissues are mainly formed from similar type of cells. That means every cells which are having similar type of structure and functions, they are forming a group, and the group formed by the similar type of cells will form tissues. Now tissues, we know that they are formed in complex organisms like higher plants and animals. So tissues are very much specialized because in a complex living organisms the organ development takes place. Now these organ development takes place from these specialized tissues only, because the function get specific with the specific type of tissues. So that's why the tissues are specialized with specific type of structures and functions. So for example, if I say that for a nervous system, nerve tissues are formed by the grouping of similar type of nerve cells. So nerve cells, when they group together, they form nervous tissues, and nervous tissues are one type of nervous system that are playing role for various nervous responses. Similarly, in case of plants also, the plant tissues are formed from similar type of plant tissues. Plant tissues are formed from similar type of plant cells. So this is how the tissues are formed, and how tissues are specialized we are able to understand now. So now we are moving to plant tissues, and under plant tissue we are going to learn about two major type of plant tissues, that are meristematic tissues and permanent tissues. And what we can see here, that meristems are itself classified under two main types, that are apical and cambiums, and permanent tissues, they are classified as protective, supporting and conductive tissues. Now they are very much different from each other, because meristems, they are mainly the primary tissues. They mainly play a role in development and growth of plant. So this is the major role for meristem. And the permanent tissues, they are formed from mature meristematic tissues. So mature meristematic tissues have no role in growth, but they support plant by providing protection, mechanical supports and transportation of various substances. So we will see each one of them one by one in details. So let's start with meristems. Now what we can see here about meristems, that they multiplies very actively to produce new cells. So we had already seen that meristems are playing role for the growth. They are playing role for the growth of plants. Now growth of plants by the proliferations, or increasing the number of cells. And the further classification of meristems are apical meristems. They are apical meristem and lateral or cambium meristem. Now what we can see here, that meristems, they are present at the growing tip of root, stems and branches. So this point is for apex meristem tissues. Now apex meristem tissues are mainly present on the terminals. They are present on the terminals of roots, or we can say that at the tip point or terminals of root, shoots or lateral branches. Now what we can see here, the structure of meristematic tissues, and we can see that meristematic tissues are formed from meristematic cells, which are all of similar type, and they have nucleus in them. So nucleus present in meristematic tissues are mainly taking place in division, and that's how the growth of plant takes place. And one thing more I would like to add here, that there is no vacuole present. So now let's discuss the classified meristems that are terminal, or we call terminal the apex or apical meristem, and lateral meristem is for cambium. So what is the difference between the two meristem is that the apical meristems, we had already seen that they are present on the shoot apex at the root apex. The meristematic cells or the tissues that are helping in the growth of plant are present on the apex or the point of shoots or stem and at the root apex. Now these root apex are present just above the root cap. And what we can see, that lateral meristems. So lateral meristems are mainly helping in secondary growth. So this is how the lateral meristems are present. These are the lateral meristems. Now the role of lateral meristems, that first they are present below barks, and they help in increasing the width of plant. They increases the diameter of plant. They increase the thickness of the branches. So this is where the lateral meristems are present, and lateral meristems, they are also known as secondary tissues. Permanent tissues, they are mainly formed from mature meristematic tissues. mature meristematic tissues, those who are having no role in growth of plant. And the permanent tissues, they are classified as protective type tissues, supporting tissues and conductive tissues. So let's start with protective tissues. Now protective tissues, as the name suggests, that something that provide protection to the plants. Now epidermis of leaf. So epidermis, they mainly form outer layer or outer layer surface of leaves, and epidermis contains a waxy like material which is known as cutin. And what basically cutin forms, they form a layer of cuticle that help in reducing loss of water from leaf. So this is how the protective tissues that are in the form of epidermis, which is an outer layer of leaves, secretes a waxy material which is known as cutin, and they form a layer of cuticle, and that cuticle help in reducing loss of water from leaves. Second example is of cork cells. Now cork cells, again very important, because cork cells are having a strong waterproof material. They secrete strong waterproof material, that is suberin. So this is again very important secretion by cork cells, which help in strong waterproof material. They provide strong waterproof material. More information I would like to add here is that the complex or higher plants are having barriers that protect plant. So barriers are in the form of some material or substances, the compositions that act as barriers for plants, and these components are very important for plant and for us to remember, that is suberin, cutin, and third one is lignin. So these all are important barriers for higher plants. Next permanent tissues are supporting tissues, and supporting tissues are again classified as parenchyma tissues, collenchyma tissues, and sclerenchyma tissues. So we will discuss them by knowing this diagram. So let's start with parenchyma tissues. So parenchyma tissues, we can see here that the shape of these cells of the parenchyma tissues are oval, and it can also be spherical or elongated. Now what we can see here, that these cells are having larger vacuoles. They are having larger vacuoles. They even have nucleus in them. They even have nucleus and a very thin cell wall, which is made of cell wall component, that is cellulose. So having large vacuole, they are the food storage site for plant. They are storage site, and what they store? They store starch or food in the form of starch or other organic materials. Now one thing more, that these parenchyma tissues are having chloroplast, and due to the presence of chloroplast they are also responsible for photosynthesis, and that's why they are also named as cholenchyma, or sorry, chlorenchyma. They are named as chlorenchyma because they are helping in production of food because they have chloroplast in them. And what else we can see here, that these cells are having intercellular spaces. So these are intercellular spaces. Now next type of tissues which we are going to discuss is cholenchyma tissues. So these parenchyma tissues, so before coming to cholenchyma tissues, I would like to tell some more points about the parenchyma tissues, that they are mainly present in leaves and they are also found in soft region of plant parts like cortex and pith. So they are mainly present in cortex and they are present in pith. So now next we will see about cholenchyma tissues. So the next type of supporting tissues are cholenchyma tissues, and these cholenchyma tissues are in a stalked form, and what we can see here, they are thick at the corner. So they have thick corners, and why they are having thick corners? Because there is a high deposition of cellulose. So high deposition of cellulose at the corners of these cells make the corners thick in size. Now they are helping in mechanical support. So they provide mechanical support to the plant, and what we can see here, that the cell walls are, or the cells are elongated. So these cells of cholenchyma tissues are having elongated structure. So this diagram is basically a longitudinal section of cholenchyma, and if we will see the transverse section of these cells, so we are able to see that these cells are having no intercellular spaces in them. So they are having no intercellular spaces. So this is again a very important point for cholenchyma, that differentiate from parenchyma tissues, that they are having no intercellular spaces, and one thing more, that they are found below the epidermis. So now next we are going to see about sclerenchyma tissues, and these sclerenchyma tissues are again having thick wall, and the composition of these sclerenchyma cells are lignin, that again provide mechanical support, and these sclerenchyma tissues which are having narrow end, they are known as sclerenchyma fibers. Now these lignin are very important for sclerenchyma tissues because they are also known as dead cells. Dead cells are mainly found on the barks of big higher plants, and these lignin are having great tensile strength. Now here are now in sclerenchyma tissues there are another type of cells which are known as stems, which are known as stone cells. Now stone cells are again very important because they are found in the walls of the nuts, and stone cells they mainly appear like circular or spherical shapes, and they are also known as sclerids, and they also provide mechanical strength, and they have pits, lumen, and again the wall of the stone and or scleroid cells are of lignin. So the empty space is known as lumen. The empty space is known as lumen. So here also we can see that empty space which is known as lumen, and these are the pits, and these type of scleroid tissues or stone cells are mainly found in the nuts. So now we will discuss the third type of permanent tissues, that are conducting tissues. And conducting tissues are mainly helping in the transport of water, food and organic material to the various or every plant parts. Now these conductive tissues are also known as vascular tissues, and vascular tissues are mainly having xylems and phloems. Now xylem and phloem, these two are playing role for the passage of material or the important constituent to flow in upward and downward movement of the plant parts. So phloem are mainly responsible for the water transportation, and phloem are for the food and organic materials. Now water is mainly secreted from the soils, and through the roots it moves towards upward to the various plant parts, and whereas food which is synthesized in the photosynthesis process by the photosynthesis process in leaves is to be transported to all plants part. So now we will see the major components of each xylem and phloem, which are vascular tissues. So xylems, the main components are tracheids. They have xylem vessels or trachea, and they have xylem parenchyma and fibers within them. So each components of xylems are having their own importance, and we will discuss them one by one. And before coming to xylem, I would like to discuss about phloem. So we can see here that the diagram of phloem tissues which are having components of sieve tubes. So we can see here these are the sieve tubes, and they are also known as sieve tube elements. So basically what they are doing, they are helping in transporting synthesized food from the leaves to the storage part. So where the food has to be stored, these sieve tube elements are helping in transportation of produced food into the storage part of the plant parts. So this is how the sieve tube elements provide channels for the movement of food. And in the support of sieve tube elements, we can see here the cells, and these cells are known as companion cells, and these companion cells are mainly supporting these sieve tube elements to perform their functions. And next, what we can see here, here we can see the cells, and these cells are known as phloem parenchyma. These cells are known as phloem parenchyma, and these phloem parenchyma are supported with phloem fibers. So this is how the phloem tissues provide passage for food, which is synthesized and transported to the storage part of the plants or to other parts of the plant. Now here one more thing is added, that is present in a transverse wall of sieve tube elements, and they are having perforated cells, and they are known as sieve plates. So sieve plates are mainly having perforated cells that help in that are also known as sieve pores. So they are present on the transverse wall of these sieve tube elements. So these are known as sieve plates. So now we will see about xylem components, and we will see here about xylem tracheids. So basically xylem tracheids are having lignified walls that are having tapering ends. So these tracheids are having tapering end, and the composition of these wall are from lignin. So lignin, basically they provide support, mechanical support, and they are of dead type. They are having no protoplasm in them. The pits are present within these tracheids, and the structure we can see, it is elongated or tube like. So these are the pits which are present on the tracheids. Now next important component of xylem is xylem vessels, or they are also known as xylem trachea. Now xylem trachea are very important for the transport of water. So these vessels are having major role for water transportation, and they also appear like tube structure. They are having tube like structures, so this is how it appears. These are the vessels, and these are the pits present and the cells of the tissues are joined end to end, and from where they are joining with the another cells, they are having, the cells are having perforations. So perforations in cells are for water movement. And again, what we can see here, they are also a tube-like structures, and the transverse wall which are present inside these vessels are making a water pipe. So this is how the transverse pipe look. Transverse wall makes water pipe for the transportation. So this is how xylem vessels looks. And another structure or components of xylem are xylem parenchyma, and parenchyma, we know the cells, how they appear like, how they look like, but the shapes and size may vary. So xylem parenchymas are having elongated or spherical or oval-like structures. Similarly, as we had seen in parenchyma tissues. So xylem parenchyma again are responsible for storing food and for the production of food. And xylem fibers are short like tracheids that are helping in mechanical support to the plant. So this is all from tissues part, and I hope you are able to understand that what are tissues, what are plant tissues, and its various classification. We had covered all according to the syllabus. So if you have any doubt, any query, write it in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Instagram page. Link is in the description box. Please give your suggestion in the comment section. Thank you for watching.